Hi class 2. Today we are going to continue the story Ugly Duckling. So all of you please open chapter number 10, The Ugly Duckling. So I hope all of you have read this chapter and you have liked the story. So today we will continue from page number 110. So last class we have finished up to this. The sky was grey and cold winds blew. Okay, so the sky was gray and cold winds blew. We have finished up to this. So today we are going to continue after this. Okay, so all of you please look into the book. One evening while he was shivering by the lake, the ugly duckling saw the most beautiful white birds flying across the river. They were swans. The ugly duckling looked at them and wished with all his heart that he could be with them. So, one evening, while he was shivering by the lake, who was shivering? Ugly duckling was shivering by the lake. What is the meaning of shivering? Shivering means feeling cold. You see, the meaning is given in your book, shaking because of the cold. Okay. So, ugly duckling was shivering. Why? Because it was winter season. So, the ugly duckling was shivering in the cold. Then, ugly duckling saw the most beautiful white birds flying across the river. So, ugly duckling saw the white bird. What is the name of that white bird? Swan. Okay. So, see students, I have drawn a picture of a swan which is swimming in the river. So this ugly duckling saw a most beautiful swan. Okay. White birds. There were so many white birds were flying across the river. They were called swans. Okay. The ugly duckling looked at them and wished with all his heart that he could be with them. So when he saw this swan, that time ugly duckling, he wished that he could also be like this swan. Winter passed and it was spring. You know, after winter season, what season comes? Spring season. Okay. So, in the spring season, you know, new green leaves comes out. Yes. In the winter season, the trees also, they don't give out flowers. Okay. They forget to give out the green leaves. So, after the winter season, it comes the spring season. So, in the spring season, green leaves came out that grew on the trees and birds chirped. Means birds were also making sounds. The bird sound, what it is written in your book? CHIRPED, chirped. Okay. So new green leaves grew on the trees and the birds chirped. The ugly duckling flapped his wings to feel the warm sun. Now the ugly duckling was feeling so cold, so the ugly duckling flapped his wings like this. It was flapping the wings so that it can make its body warm. He was surprised at how big and strong his wings felt. Now when ugly duckling was opening his wings and it was trying to fly or move his wings, that time the ugly duckling failed, that he has so long, so large and strong wings. Okay. Now students, turn to next page, page number 111. Then one morning, the beautiful white bird returned to the lake. So there were, like this type of swan, there were so many other swans, okay, white birds, those who came to this river to swim. Okay, so they came to the lake. Then one morning the beautiful white birds returned to the lake. They saw the ugly duckling and called him to join them. So when this white birds, they saw that ugly duckling, so the white birds were calling the ugly duckling that come and join us. Okay, so they saw the ugly duckling and called him to join them. The ugly duckling shyly paddled out in the water. What is the meaning of shyly? Shyly meaning is given in your book. You see the meaning. No, shyly is not given. Sorry, paddled is given. Paddled meaning is moved through the water. Okay. So the ugly duckling was feeling very shy. Shyly meaning is the ugly duckling was feeling very shy. She was ashamed. Okay, to go out in the water to greet them. What is the meaning of greet? To welcome them. Okay. So always the ugly duckling was away from all the other ducks also, other ducklings. And now when he saw this white birds or swan, so she was ugly duckling was desiring that if she could go and become like the white birds. Okay. Now when they called the ugly duckling to swim along with them, that time he felt that but as he got closer, he felt shy and scared. Now when he was trying to go closer to the other white birds, he was feeling very shy. Means she don't want to go closer to them. Okay, she was very scared. Scared means she was very afraid. Okay, so he tried to get closer to them, but he was feeling shy and he was scared. But if they too laughed at him, so he bent his head low. But if they too laughed at him, because previously, when the ugly duckling went to swim in the water along with the other ducklings, the other white ducklings, they used to laugh at him, no? They laughed at him and they told that you are very ugly, okay, you are not like us. So they laughed at him. So because of that reason, this ugly duckling, when he went to swim along with the white birds, that time again he is putting his head down so that other people or other white birds won't laugh at him. Okay, so that's why this time also he bent his head down in the water. In the picture you can see, no, in the book, that this ugly duckling was putting his head down so that other white birds cannot see his face. So he bent his head low. Now what happened after this? So when the white swan, when this ugly duckling bent his own head, that time he can see his own image, own picture in the water because of the reflection. Okay, like when you go and see your face in front of the mirror, you can see your own face, no? So water also, it is showing a reflection. Okay, so in the water also, when when this ugly duckling was looking at his own face, okay, when this ugly duckling was looking at his own face inside the water, so suddenly he discovered that he was turning into a beautiful swan. Okay, no more he was an ugly duckling. He know that he was an ugly duckling. He was gray color because everyone disliked him. But now when he saw his own reflection inside the water, that time he is thinking that I became so beautiful, like a white swan. Some children came at the edge of the lake and they told, "Look, there is a new swan beside the lake." They said, "Isn't he lovely?" Now, some children, they were going beside the lake. Okay, they came to the edge of the lake. Okay, so when they came to the edge of the lake and they were looking at the ugly duckling, that time they were telling, "Look, there is another swan. There is a new swan beside the lake." They said, "Isn't he lovely?" That means when they noticed this ugly duckling, the other children, they also gave a good comment. What was the good comment? They commented that this is a new one and this one is also really very beautiful. Okay, so what we can learn from this story? We can learn that the ugly duckling, who was disliked first by all the other ducklings, then the duckling got separated from 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 the other ducklings, and now when he saw the other white swans or white birds and then he also went to swim with them, and when he saw his own reflection in the water, he turned out to be a beautiful swan. Okay, and he became very happy. Okay, when the other children also praised him. Okay, so students, all of you, please read this story. This story is adapted from a classic tale by Hans Christian Andersen. Okay, so read the story properly, learn the difficult spellings in this chapter, and write the word meanings in your copy. Next class, I'm going to solve the exercise. Okay, bye students.